All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need a.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it is. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Three Cocktails In. We are excited to be here with you today, and thank you for tuning in.
It is delightful to be back and feeling fairly normal.
How many days? How many days was it?
This Friday will be 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks. I do think I had COVID. Just because one person in my office who was in that big meeting with me, she had COVID, and now I talked to another woman who said, "Oh yeah, I got COVID." And I sat right next to her. I said, "Oh, you mean when you were bragging how you felt fine and you had nothing wrong?" She goes, "Yeah. Yeah, that night I started to feel crappy." So, yeah, this was a little bit different. Lots in the chest. The first couple, it was more of a whole body ache, but yeah, I think I only took Sudafed once today. So I'm gonna say woohoo.
That's good. You've definitely turned the corner.
Yeah, and thus I have a cocktail.
Cheers.
I need to clear out my refrigerator like Stacy does.
Yeah. I'm still working on that, and I'm not getting very far.
Oh, wow.
Man.
I know.
Well, keep at it. You can do it.
Power through.
That's what we do here. We cheer each other on.
Yes, of all things.
Yeah. And we got to think out of the box. So just stupid. This is not really what we're talking about tonight, but I made this great grapefruit Paloma tequila cocktails at Christmas. Mm-hmm. And after the girls left, there was a huge pitcher left. I poured that in a Tupperware and I froze it. So now I have slush.
Oh,
I bet that's good. That sounds
it's
lovely.
A little potent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, use the slush and then put a little mixer in with it.
Oh yeah, it's like a half and half. It's so potent, and it's a lot of grapefruit. I'm not that strong of a grapefruit person.
Oh,
but yeah, reuse, renew, recycle.
Yeah,
do your part.
Repurpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
Good.
Yeah,
that's a shot.
That is a shot.
Yeah. Thank you for the tip.
I'm here for you.
So I had a really fun experience last week that I think is going to kind of help us transition into our topic today. So as you guys know, once a month I go and co-host a networking event with a former colleague of mine. And last week he was traveling. And so I co-hosted with someone else. And I co-hosted with a man named James Damien, who is he's an amazing design leader. I almost said thought leader. He's a design leader. He has worked for Tiffany's. He's worked, he was at Best Buy for many, many years. And the man exudes this, what is the word? The words are very important here because I want to do him justice. He is so classy. And like whenever we knew that we were going to be seeing him or having a meeting with him, literally I would say, what am I going to wear? What am I going to wear?
Yep. Priorities.
Yeah. So because I wanted to show up in such a way that he would look at me and say, "Oh, she really looks put together." So in he walks last week for our session, and of course he was smashing. He had a beautiful suit on, and we got to chatting a little bit before the event started. and before we started the panel discussion, and he said, "Kitty, you always look so nice." It's astonishing to me how poor so many people look. Poor
Ooh,
meaning how people just don't dress up anymore. They
yeah.
purposely dress down. And so we just got on a really, really short conversation about how, when business casual kind of entered the scene, business casual meant something very specific. But it was just sort of the slippery slide down that has kind of taken us to today, where people just kind of show up. I'm just talking about at work, first of all. They
Yeah.
just show up at work wearing whatever whatever they want to wear. So it was an interesting exchange that he and I had last week.
And COVID made dressing in social functions brought
Yeah.
all that down. People are
Yes.
like, yeah, leggings and sweatshirts are acceptable
Mm-hmm.
behavior going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm not so much if you're just going out to dinner or whatever. I don't like it, but whatever. But I'll give you an example. We had a big corporate meeting, with customers, and it's not quite a year ago. And we did it 2 times that way, and we're not doing that again this year. But I just felt like as us as employees, we should dress up, number one, and much better than what we wear during the day. Because I admit we wear jeans and a uniform shirt, or sweater or something. It's not just a t-shirt, right, or a sweatshirt. It's a uniform sweater or long sleeve or whatever. I just felt like as a outing in the evening, we should look very dressed up, different than everybody that's attending the meeting. And you think anybody did but me? Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
And in fact, I've found that when somebody at a higher level establishes or states a dress code for something, people automatically want to revolt against it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Because
you can't tell me what to wear.
Exactly. And oh my gosh, as we go into this conversation, the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, okay, are we going to sound like those angry women who are complaining about, whatever? But I am on the side of there's nothing wrong with your employer saying this is the presentation that we want to have. Because it's important. What we're talking about tonight is personal branding. We're kind of kicking off the conversation from a business perspective.
Right.
But the three of us, so our listeners, the three of us were just kind of chatting a week or so ago, and we started talking about how we show up in our personal circles. I was kind of sharing a little bit about Bo, who's 23, and I look at him sometimes and I think, wow, we could really do better here. You are a privileged 23-year-old. You don't need to look like you just walked in off the street. So, talking about personal branding tonight and why it's so important. I'm very passionate about this topic.
I have to agree, and beyond just work, but because of the rise of social media, is there any different? Do you have two different personas? I don't think you do. I think that how you present yourself on your social media, unless your social media is private, then you do you. Absolutely fine. I think we have to take a bigger look at what the total package is.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't take a lot of money. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. To use many of Stacy's favorite words, there are multiple hacks out there to get yourself to an elevated state.
Yeah.
You don't have to be rich. You don't have to even do makeup. There are many ways to, the old dress for the job you want, or
Yeah.
know your audience, another good thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want someone else to feel special,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
show that you appreciate what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Or that if you're, let's say you're going on a date with somebody and
Thanks.
you, sorry.
Get on me right
Well,
now.
actually, I'm thinking about this in terms of Bo with his girlfriend. Okay, because they've been together now for 3 years, maybe over 3 years, and so it's gotten a little comfortable.
Yeah.
As I look at the difference between when they were getting ready to go out 3 years ago when they first met, Kid cleaned up, and now it's not quite so much, but I think that says something. It like when you say, "All right, we're going out. This is a meaningful time that we're going to spend together. I'm gonna shave. I'm gonna comb my hair. I'm gonna put on a nice outfit." You're showing that you care about how you show up along with this person, and there can be pushback on this. Like when he and I have had conversations, he'll say, "It doesn't matter," and I think I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, why does this material thing or this physical thing matter? But you know what? It does. It does.
Yeah, I don't think that's just the dating world either. Think about it as
Yeah.
you're married forever and do you work as hard as you once did, or do you
Yeah.
just,
Mm-hmm.
again, put leggings and tennis shoes on and run out to dinner?
Yeah.
So I am dating, as you all know.
You are?
I am. I'm dating. If you're new here, I am dating. But I'm at the point now where I've seen somebody 6 weeks, multiple dates, maybe getting close to 2 months. And, he's come over here. I've gone to his house. We still state what the dress code is.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm going over for dinner tomorrow night. And he says, "Hey, super casual. Wear your sweats if you'd like. I just want you to feel really comfortable here."
Hmm.
So I may very well wear sweats, but this whole thing's still going to be working
Yeah.
because one, he's not ready for what happens, for what's behind the mask, or I'm not ready to show what's behind the mask.
And I think that is super, polite and thoughtful, because then you both are on the same page,
Yes.
and you don't show up super casual when he didn't mean it to be, and you don't go out and be casual if if that's not what one of you had in mind. The other one,
Yeah.
say, "Oh, well, I'll just wear that," where you talk about it. I think that's very, like I said,
Yeah.
very thoughtful of both of you. So you're both on the same page.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, going out in the metro area is much different than going out in smaller communities.
Mm-hmm.
And I often wonder, if your work people are in your same community, what's your personal brand as you're out and not at work?
Hmm.
Do you have two different personas?
Yeah.
you,
I
you
don't.
know, it's
I
all us. It's all
That's right. I don't, or at least I don't feel like I do. And, so on this topic, some people might look at it and say, well, I'm not sure I know what that means, or I'm not really sure how do I know what my personal brand is, or
why do I need one?
or why do I need one? And I think one of the best questions to ask yourself is, what do you want to be known for? Or what do you want? Like if somebody said, "Oh yeah, I know Kitty Hart. She's something." How would they answer that question? Um, I think sometimes that's a good place to start. And I don't see any difference in my life between me professionally and me personally. I rarely leave the house without some jewelry on, without a little bit of makeup on. And some people might look at that and say, well, why do you need that? Or that's frivolous or whatever. It's for me.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's largely for me. And yeah, and I want to look decent. I want to look nice when I leave the house or when I'm, on Zoom. I mean, our
Right.
lives are very much in this environment as well as in person.
Now, I'm thinking of some people that I know that are heavily into they're activists, for lack of a better term. They perhaps don't work outside the home and they take on a lot of heavy community work.
Hmm.
And I can hear the conversation going, it does not matter what I wear.
Hmm.
This is not what I'm fighting for. This is not in key with my goals. And I understand that. I very much understand that. But when you're going in front of somebody who it is their goal,
Hmm.
I think it's important to read the room.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned it before, dress for your audience.
Hmm.
I think if you know who you're trying to, who you're talking to, who you're speaking to, in that case, if you're out as speaking, to a group about your
Cause.
cause, sure. I mean, why wouldn't you want to look your best? And, you know, I think that helps your, whether you,
Stance.
yes, stance, or just that you look like you are trying to portray, um, someone that's knowledgeable and,
Yeah,
you know,
credibility
yeah,
and
it goes to credibility, sure.
I
hmm
think I've always wanted to look like my peers. Maybe that's not quite the right way to put it, but especially, work, I want to look professional. You're entrusting me with a large amount of money to help you make a major life investment.
yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm wearing a banker's suit,
Hmm.
sort of thing, but I want you to feel like I'm competent and whatever. I think that even if you are in a non-professional office
Mhm.
corporate environment, but you want to be taken seriously, maybe that's it. To be
Hmm.
taken seriously, I feel like you got to put a little work in. Again, doesn't have to be makeup, doesn't have to be colored hair, doesn't have to be, but can you actually go into a space and let's talk about men too, because this isn't just about women. Can you go into a space where you're asking or presenting? Anytime you're asking or presenting, you're selling something. You're
Right.
trying to present an idea that you want other people to buy into, to agree
Hmm.
with. Can you do that in jeans and a hoodie? Unless everybody else that you're presenting to is also in jeans and a hoodie, then maybe coming in a suit isn't the best move
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
But are you ever out of place? And Kitty, you've said this a number of times, by being just a little bit overdressed.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Can you
Yeah.
ever go wrong being just a little bit
Hmm.
more
Hmm.
Mhm.
than the group you're coming to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's a good. I think it's a good practice. Sort of. So what you were, as you were just kind of laying that out there, I was reminded of the movie The Intern
Oh, I
Oh,
love that movie.
with
mhm.
Robert De Niro and
Mhm.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
It's just so funny to watch the interaction between
Those
the
guys.
the guys and and Robert De Niro's character coming in, and he's in his 60s.
Dude.
I don't know, maybe it was older, maybe it was even older than this, so maybe 60s, and he was just looking for something to do, and so he's the intern. And it's okay, that's a good movie. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch the intern. It's a good
Yeah.
light good light movie. But and he there were certain behaviors and practices and beliefs that he held so dear, and nobody was going to tell him otherwise, that he was going to show up every day in a suit,
Yeah.
or whatever it was that he wore every day,
I
even
think
though
he was-
everybody else around him, they were wearing the hoodies.
Yeah. And he was the first one there and the last one to leave.
Yeah,
And was very professional throughout the day.
yeah. That's a good one.
So let's talk about you guys with your men. Do you ever feel the need to have a discussion with them about what's the image? What is the look you're going for here? The old, is that what you're wearing?
Yeah.
And any suggestions on how to couch that conversation?
It's a hard one, and I know it. Even though I feel compelled to say, "Is this what we're going to wear?" Because a lot of times that's what I say. Is this what we're going to wear? Which isn't a very, but he knows that he knows it's coming. Bill is very, very, very casual. He has never really cared about clothes. He would never consider what he's wearing an outfit. An outfit is something that women wear. And yeah, this is a real thing. And I have to accept the fact that stuff doesn't matter to him. And obviously I've been able to accept it just fine because we've been married for 25 years. So, it's also one of the things that I love about him, that he doesn't care about that stuff.
So does he not care if you pick out what he's going to wear?
Do you pick out what he's going to wear?
Do you pick out what he's going to wear?
Sometimes he will, like if we're going to something that's not just going out to dinner, the two of us, if we're like going to a company event or, an event, he will actually say, "Can you please help me pick out what I'm going to wear?" He will ask for, we'll stand in the closet and we'll look at things and we'll pick them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he knows when he needs to.
How about Barney?
He's pretty standard. You know what I mean? He's not a t-shirt and hoodie, sweatshirt kind of person anyway.
No. He's always got it seems to me he's always got a button down and pants on.
Yeah.
He's worn a suit a few times that I've seen him and looks quite comfortable in them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's not, he doesn't dress up much. The only times he wears a suit is to weddings and funerals. But otherwise he doesn't hate wearing a pair of khakis and a, dress shirt. Summer's more, a better golf shirt type of dress. So, yeah. Yeah,
that was one of the things that I kind of promised myself as I started the whole dating thing, was that I was going to learn to accept people as they are and not try and change them to dress the way I wanted them to be.
Mm-hmm.
That was just something that I'm like, you know what? If that's how they want to be, either I'm going to like it or I'm not. Either I'm going to be comfortable with it and go with it, or I'm not.
Yeah.
And there have been a couple times when I've gone out on a first date with someone and went, huh. Oh, okay. Especially if it's been where I've said, I'm going to be coming from work.
Yeah.
Where I've already stated you know, and all my pictures on my profile are from me at work because it's the only time I ever take a selfie or somebody has taken a photo of me or whatever. So I'm in dressy clothes all the time. Not fancy, but you know.
But also, it's a first date, so
Right.
why would you not dress
Yeah.
up a little bit?
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. So, as how do we talk about brand beyond appearance?
Oh,
Can we
yeah.
talk about brand beyond appearance?
Hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes.
You know,
Behaviors.
yeah, some of the stuff I was reading about, also includes, your presence on social media, things you put out, things you post, things you like and share, is all going to go towards how everyone sees you and your brand. You know what I mean? Unless you share something and have an opposing opinion and state that, that's all wrapped up in the same, in the same thing.
Everything you do, everything you put out, everything you say, it all
Hmm.
it all will be perceived by people, and people will perceive things in different ways. But yes, our brand is more than just our physical appearance, just as it is with you know retail brands or corporate brands. So Chick-fil-A is a good example that they've, when you go there, they don't say thank you. They when you say thank you, they don't say you're welcome. They say my pleasure. That
Yeah,
is
or they at least thank God they don't say no problem.
Yeah.
yes, right. You wouldn't. It's not allowed. It's the behavior of the brand is that the vernacular is my pleasure, and that becomes a very memorable thing. So we as people, so something that Bill always does, Bill will always open a door for me. Door, any door, a car door, no matter where we're going, he'll come around to my side. That's a behavior
Mhm.
that says something grand about him.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So yeah, things like that. People who show up late all the time. That's just you just you just. I'm not saying you, Amy.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it
not
is
all the time. It's
all
not
the
all the
time.
time.
That says something. That says something
Mhm.
about you. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it doesn't say anything good about me. I'm good at clients. The rest of my world is just
I mean, we're not perfect.
and I just keep thinking to my dear friends who are on screen with me that thank God you know me and love me.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
also know that
whatever.
you always lie to me about when things start.
Yeah, let's give her a
Let's
half
just
hour.
Yeah, let's just say that whenever I was waiting for you to come and pick me up on our way to Girls Weekend, I always knew that I had a good maybe 30 to 45 minutes in there before you would actually get there to pick me up.
Okay, that girls' weekend, yeah, but most of the time it's not that long.
No, it's not. You're right. Girls Weekend is different. We were
'Cause there was a lot of shit and a lot of people.
Yeah,
And
a
if
lot of
everybody's 10 minutes late,
yeah.
then we got the domino effect.
Yep, that is right.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know.
mm,
Can you change your brand? Can you change the way people perceive you? Can you grow into something new? Think that's possible?
Lordy,
I
I
do.
hope so.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it takes more than just words. And it just like with anything, it takes time to develop the habit of it, or to have it really stick. But yeah, I believe so. Hmm.
Um, I, yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Got nothing on that thought there. I was going to say something about whether or not we need to be concerned about it in this stage of our life, but I think we do. You know,
Yeah.
people, especially as they even start to get older. I've never heard any of us say it, other than as you start to think about what am I leaving my children? Legacy.
Mhm.
Legacy. You'll hear politicians. You'll hear um, professors, professionals, CEOs, leaders of organizations. What will my legacy be?
Yeah.
What will I leave for my kids? What will they remember me as? What's the story that they'll tell their kids?
Hmm.
That really gets to the heart of brand for a
Yeah.
better,
Sure.
for a, you know, you probably wouldn't think about it that way, but it is the same thing. What
Hmm.
are you known for?
Yeah.
What are you known for? What do people remember about you? That's your brand. What do people
Yeah.
remember about you?
Yeah. And I think for people who don't think about this topic or have never thought about this topic, you have a brand, whether you know it or not. And
Sure.
so it is kind of a good practice to step back and maybe take a look at it. Ask people, like if you're curious, ask people, three people that you're close to, and say, "Hey, how would you describe me?" Or, "Hey, what do you think I'm really good at?" Just little questions like that can start to help you understand how you're perceived. It could be kind of an eye-opening exercise,
Yes, could be. Maybe you
And
won't like the answer.
maybe.
I was just going to talk a little bit about that. When you talk about brands changing, can you change your image? After my mom passed away, my dad became a crotchety, angry man. He
Mm,
offended people left and right. And without my mom there to reel him in and to buffer it or to be the joyful partner,
hmm.
he was left with a not a fun man to be around. And it really broke my heart as I listened to my kids and the other grandkids. Their memory of Grandpa Fred is of him yelling at them all the time.
Oh,
And it just is so, it just crushes me because when they were all babies, Grandpa Fred was their favorite. He taught them how to, I mean, he bought them their first banana split. He always had the candy in his pocket. He always, took them. He was such a loving, fun, joyful man, especially with those kids. And then my mom died and things completely changed. And unfortunately, all those kids were at that age where they started to remember stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what their stories are about. My sister has said the same thing that, they went to see mom and dad's graves or put flowers on it or whatever, and they started talking about different stories. And the stories were about Grandpa Fred yelling at them, and they
Uh,
were laughing about them. But at the same time, that's so disappointing. I mean, here was a man who he would give up his days to go help bag sand down in those small southwestern Minnesota towns when the river was flooding. He didn't live there. He had clients there and he knew how important that community,
yeah.
that small town community, that's what he went and did.
Hmm.
yeah.
But that wasn't the last memory. A bad brand for even a short amount of time can sometimes ruin a lifetime of good
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
of good thoughts.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. That's too
that's
bad.
that's too bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I correct them often and
Yeah.
I don't correct them, but I draw them back to the funny pictures of them with Grandpa Fred and
Yeah.
the different things that he did for them and letting them drive the golf cart and, those things so that
That's good.
can try and keep those thoughts in there. But
Yeah.
you're so right. We have a brand. whether you call it brand or your image or,
Mhm.
modern day corporate world speaks brand, real life, we grew up thinking about our image.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yes. And it's important.
Yeah.
So that was on our mind this week.
As I'm going to get my nails done tomorrow so I don't look like a disheveled.
I think
Look
they
at
look
how much.
good.
They
Yeah,
look good.
I
they look
know, but there's like a
oh,
quarter
Oh,
inch.
grown out. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That
Yeah,
happens.
Well, yeah, at least you don't have, your nails aren't, you don't have like half your
yeah.
nail polish has come half off that.
Yeah, that's what mine look like at the moment. They're
I
bad.
doubt it, Stacy. I
Oh
doubt
yes, they're really bad. They're really bad. Mine
Well,
look
it's
bad.
also one of the reasons why I don't want to ever put acrylics on because you've popped one off on a
Oh
on
yeah,
occasion, and
I'm
then you've
missing
got
one.
9 fingernails done and one that's
Yeah,
not. Oh, there it is.
yeah, I'm missing one. Yeah. Sometimes things happen. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
You never know.
yeah.
all right. Well, any parting thoughts here? Things to share. Does anybody have a shot tonight?
Shot. A shot. Oh, hey, I'm asking for crowd participation. If any of you have tried that lip stain lip liner that turns like blue purple and then stays on your lips and had luck, either liked it or hated it, could you please let me know? I want to try that, and I'd love to know what brand you tried.
Okay.
So there's a reverse shot. Somebody help me out with
Yeah.
that.
Help Amy.
Help Amy.
Help Amy if you've tried that lip stain. Yeah, I got bamboozled again. Remember before Christmas I said I'm never gonna make a new recipe off the
Oh,
internet?
what'd you do?
Did it again.
What'd you try?
Yeah, I made one and I saw like 2 and 3 posts of this same recipe. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to give that a try. And it was like and maybe people don't like it, but it's like chicken pot pie, homemade chicken pot pie, but the crust top is Red Lobster biscuit mix. I thought,
Oh,
which we like. We have that occasionally. I thought, that would be so good. Oh my gosh, it was terrible. It was awful.
was there no flavor?
Yes and no. Too almost like the bottom, the part that you think is going to be, soupy and veggie and chicken,
Yeah.
was too dry, and the top, was almost too soggy. It was weird. So yeah, don't make that.
Every time I've tried to make a pot pie like that,
Hmm.
it's way too soupy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this wasn't at all
Doesn't have that good kind of thicker
gravy like. Yeah,
It's
I
not
don't know.
Mrs. Schwann's
Yeah, I know.
or Marie
Might as well stick with Marie Calendar. Yeah.
So with finding recipes on social media, you have to really look at the source because there are so many groups on Facebook that it'll say like Pioneer Woman. It makes it look like it's Pioneer Woman, but
Yeah.
then underneath it's going to say the person who posted it, and it's some name from a
Yeah.
foreign country.
Yeah.
So
It could be.
it's yeah, you have to dig to figure out the source, and then
I know.
so
Yeah, it was interesting because I follow a guy that has a cookbook, and he made it, and I copied him, and I just did it a little different. Like somebody else said, oh, it improves if you flip the whatever. And yeah, the whole
Wow.
taste of it wasn't good. So I don't know. It's weird. But yes, that's difficult to do because, some things just, I swear sometimes people just make up recipes,
yeah.
They just make them up to have a post. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. So I discovered something thanks to social media this week.
What
This
is
is going
that?
to be an odd one. So the carrot peeler.
Okay.
Okay. Is that different than a vegetable peeler?
Yeah. This thing.
Yeah, sorry, vegetable peeler. We're going to
Oh.
use it. We're going to use it on a carrot.
Okay.
So the vegetable peeler. Did you guys know that you're not supposed to go like this? You're supposed to go like this. So the reason that that little blade kind of rocks back and forth in the vegetable peeler, so you're holding the carrot and you actually go like this as you turn the carrot. And so you're not doing this, which is a little bit extra work. You're doing this. So you're peeling as it goes down, you're peeling as it goes up.
Interesting. Did you rip your finger to shreds that was holding the carrot?
Did you cut your knuckle? Did you cut your knuckle when you came back this way?
No, but it does. It did take a little bit of finesse to not cut my knuckles.
Here you go.
But like when I watched the video, it was one of those moments like, have I been doing it wrong?
When they say, I was today's years old when I learned.
Mm-hmm. There's some of those things.
Yeah.
I just feel like a carrot would be the only thing it'd work on because it wouldn't work for a potato, does it?
You're
you
too
can be able to.
bumpy.
Yeah.
That would be hard. Maybe a cucumber.
Yeah, maybe.
The skin of that might be a little bit too hard too. I don't know. So anyway, you guys, if you go
Try
grab
it.
a carrot, go grab your vegetable peeler and give it a whirl.
Well, I buy baby carrots.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
good shots. Good shots, ladies.
All
Don't
right.
try Stacy's pot pie recipe.
No.
That's a
If you
don't.
see one, don't.
Yes. Do try the back and forth motion with the vegetable peeler.
Yes.
Huh. Did I have a shot at the early part of this?
Yeah. Your
Yeah,
frosé. Your frozen drink.
If you have an extra in your pitcher of whatever cocktail you've been mixing up over the weekend, pour it in a Tupperware, put it in the fridge, put it in the freezer.
Freezer. Yeah.
Waste
idea.
not, want not.
That's right. All right. Well,
All right.
let's wrap her up. We will see you guys next week. Until
Yes.
then, have a wonderful week, everybody.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Peace out, everyone. Bye.
See ya.
All right. Woo. Look, I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past 10.